All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're back with round 3 of the New Year's Day live stream Q&A. If you missed the last two, now's your chance to get your questions. Put them over there in the chat box. You know how it goes. Shout out to Paul Falconbridge for giving us the $20 super chat just to get the train rolling. You're the man. I also know it's 4:30 in the morning over there in Cornwall, the United Kingdom, and you got to be to work at 9:30, so you're a fucking G for getting up early just to do this. And anyways, I promised everyone that we would do the tale of me running a skier over right before Christmas. But right now we only got 20 people in here, so I'm going to hold off till we get a few more because I know people will be asking me if I do it early on. Anyways, if anyone has any questions, make sure you get it over there. Also, for anyone that wants to order stickers off Angry Snowboarder Store, if you use the code New Year 2020, you will save 10% on everything that's available, which is the Snowboarding Culture's Not Dead sticker packs, the OG sticker, and the Slayer sticker as well. Unfortunately, I don't think Kevin will be joining us in the chat at all tonight. Possibly Alan Russell will show up. And no, Alan did not kill Kevin this time. At least I'm not aware of that. But maybe he did. Who knows what Alan is actually plotting to do with Kevin besides turn him into a skin suit. All right. Okay. First question, S2000 guy. When will companies start advertising width at the inserts, and why did they never do that? So Nidecker is actually already doing it. Marhar is starting to do it. I think we're going to start seeing this come out probably another 2-3 years, hopefully. If it does, then we're going to be good to go with that because it's definitely something we need to do. But the problem that I think, and the big reason I think that they don't do this, but the waist is it's skier marketing bullshit. Like skiers want to know what the waist of their ski is because they're mounting their fucking bindings there. We're not. We're mounting out closer to the tip and the tail. So with that said, I think part of it is companies are just kind of a little bit lazy with things as well. All right. Brandon X. Okay, before the story, any Burton boards worth looking at? I'm up for any style. There's a bunch of great stuff. Deep Thinker is pretty solid. Skeleton Key is awesome if you're an old person, because old people tend to love this board. The Flight Attendant, for some reason, I actually need to get the review of the Hometown Hero up. If you want something stiff and volume shifted, there's that. I also have a review coming of the Custom Flying V, which, God, that was awful. Whoa. Whoa. That was a fucking turd of a board. Why did I ride that? All right. Let's see. How many of you guys over here in the chat want to hear about me running a skier over? Anyone? Anyone at all? Michael Anderson, with Jake Burton having passed on, do you think things are going to change with the brand for better or worse? I think they're going to stay pretty much on par for at least another year. Donna is running the show over there, and there is some people that Jake has put into place before he passed that are really solid. I think we're looking at probably a year to two before we see any big changes. All right. Yeah, it does suck though, losing Jake. That was a hard fucking day right there. I cried a lot, because I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for snowboarding, and you guys wouldn't be watching this. Camden Guzzi, I want to hear the story about how you did Mountain Town Coke and shit your brains out. I've never done Coke. I'm smart enough to know never to do Mountain Town Coke, to say the least. But I've definitely shit my brains out before. But I've never pooped myself snowboarding. Came close once. Maybe I'll tell you guys the story of that at some point. Because don't let anyone ever fool you. Almost everyone has shit their pants on the hill at some point from doing something stupid. All right. Okay. Anyways, I promised you guys a tale of me running a skier over, so fuck it. Let's do this. All right, so for anyone that is not familiar with Holiday Valley in Western New York, their big thing is night shredding, and they pretty much light up something like 90% of the resort at night. So a lot of light pollution, a lot of lights, everything like that. But the lights on the outskirts of the resort tend to be about 10 feet in from the side of the run. So it creates this little area where side hits form and stuff, and then you land in it. So I'm coming through this one run called Punch Bowl. It's like the biggest, widest run they have. And I went into a hard toe side Euro carve, just ripping around from one side to the other, going as fast as I can with my friend Jordan. And I'm in full toe side carve. And there's like this side hit over here. I'd hit it during the day, but it was at night. This guy in all black on skis proceeds to hit it and spin a little 360 as I'm in a deep toe side Euro carve, and I'm looking right at him going, oh, fuck, I'm going to hit him. So, I mean, we're about 3 feet away. There was no way of me not hitting him. So I just looked at it. I was like, I'm hitting you, and dropped my shoulder and hit him with the front shoulder, my whole side, and pretty much scooped him with this arm. And I had him in this arm, and I just chucked him. I just launched him and then laid it down on my back and stopped and got up. And I get up, and there's like a ski over here. His legs are crisscrossed. His head is downhill. He's face down. And I'm like, oh, he's fucking dead. He's just so fucking dead at this point. Like I've literally killed this fucking guy. So he's fucking dead. And I'm like, hey man, you okay? Nothing. Skirt down a little bit. No, heel slide. Hey man, you okay? Nothing. Slide down a little bit more. Turn my music off. Hey man, are you okay? And at this point, there's a little bit of movement from him. And all I hear as he turns around and looks at me was, that was my fault. Never had a skier ever say that it was their fault like this ever for anything, which it's always skiers' faults. But he looks at me, he's like, that was my fault. I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, are you okay? Nothing. Hey man, are you okay? Finally, yeah, I think I'm fine. And this guy is like probably like 35, and he's a teacher advisor that's, at least he looked like it, because there's a bunch of ski clubs there. So he's like a teacher advisor, and he's there with them. And he just sort of looks at me and he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you fine? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm good. I'm the one standing up asking if you're okay. And you're like face down in the snow. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm okay. But are you sure you're okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, are you sure you're okay? And I was like, I go to the gym 5 days a week and I snowboard 150 days a year. This is not even going to phase me tomorrow. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, I'm good. And he's getting up, and he's got no poles to begin with, so he's like just slowly getting up, and he puts one ski on, and he like picks up the other one. He's like, I think I'm done for the night. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're cooked. And he just sort of like hobbles down the run with one ski on, and it's like going crisscross. I think he might have been concussed. I'm not sure, but he was just like moving around. And my friend's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I think I killed him. He might be dead. I'm pretty sure that guy, like Christmas was horrible for him. He was probably just like sitting around like, oh God, everything's fucking broken. Oh my God, I'm fucking destroyed. But yeah, so that's what happened last Monday. Or not yesterday, but a week ago, Monday. This was right before Christmas. Fucking hobbled this guy. I just laid his ass out and just like scooped him though. But I mean, just to see him laying there, he was just goddamn discombobulated. But hey, he did acknowledge it was his fault, and that's all that matters. So yeah. All right, let's see what we got for some questions here. Heck and Dan, have you ever ridden an old school Burton Craig Kelly thinking about using it as a powder board? No, because I like modern technology. Why are you going to ride something that's 30 years old? Let alone you're going to have to get a vintage snowboard plate to put modern bindings on it. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. YP asks, Solomon Villain or the Ride Twin Pig? Kind of depends what you want, because with the Twin Pig, you get that volume shift in there, so you can actually size down on it if that's what you're really looking for, to change the swing weight. But I did really like the new Solomon Villain. So if you haven't checked out the review of that, swing over to the Solomon snowboard review playlist. I think you'd really get a better feel of that. But the new Villain is pretty fucking solid. It actually rides like kind of like the old Villain, anyways. Let's see. What else we got going on? Okay. Tenchi Hayashi. I think I heard this story before on your podcast. No, you haven't, because that literally just happened. But yes, don't ever be a skier, and don't ever be a ski bomber. Look before you fucking leap, especially if you're wearing all black jumping out of the goddamn shadows. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on here? Max Ludgate, favorite bibs. I am not a bibs guy. I do not like bibs in the slightest. I feel it's too claustrophobic. You're just like, everything's there, and you're just like, eh. Plus, the propensity of shitting yourself is a lot higher, because getting out of those things, you're not getting out of them as fast as a pair of pants. No one likes it when you shit yourself. I've almost shit myself snowboarding. It wasn't pretty. I did have a friend that shit himself. He did a double cork to a knuckle, and a little poop came out. He just, like, we all saw it happen, and we were like, is he okay? And he just pointed it right to the base area and then ran right into the lodge. And we're like, is he okay? And he comes out and he's like, I pooped myself. He's like, I had to throw my boxers away. So yeah, don't ever poop yourself. Okay. Oof. Okay. Tim Miller, thoughts on the new spring break powder racers? I need to get on some, is what I need to do. I really like the shape on that thing, though. It looks like it would be killer, but I have not ridden one, and I think they redid the cores on them, so they're a little beefier, too. All right. Okay. Richard Hurlman, if someone wants to build a modest cabin on the hill for long winter stays, how many dead skiers should they aim to put in the foundation for best structural integrity? Well, see, you're not going to get any structural integrity because they're skiers, and they're already weak because they're skiers. So, I mean, if you're gonna bury anything, you want snowboarders, because snowboarders are just burlier. It's clear. I was fine. That dude was dead. So, yeah, there's that. But also make sure that you use a lot of cement. You really want to get them in there. You know, you want this to be like Jimmy Hoffa in there if you're doing that too. So yeah. Okay. Jake XSV. Anyone ever check out vinyl wraps for their boards? Seem kind of shitty, but what other options for a board you like with old graphics? The vinyl graphics thing is actually really easy to do, and you get in a 3M film on there. The big issue with it is, like, so many of those companies just put out the wackest fucking graphics. They're like, look, we'll sell you this. And it's like, oh, God, that's shitty. But if you do an actual custom design graphic, they're going to put it on that 3M. The big thing is to find out what vinyl they're using, because there's different grades vinyl. And you want the one that's outdoor rated and it's like the 14-year outdoor rated, and it's cold rated. That's going to be the big thing with it. So if you don't get something like that, they can tend to peel. The other thing is, when you put it on, make sure you take a razor and go around and try to trim it like at an angle so you bevel it so it doesn't actually skimp. But I mean, I've seen people charging $200 for that shit. And, like, I'll be honest with you, I just bought 12 rolls of vinyl for fucking $90. So yeah, don't get ripped off. Max Ludgate, heading to Japan Monday. Any suggestions? I heard it's raining a lot over there, and the snow's kind of shit. So drink lots of sake. Don't eat a blowfish. And hopefully that rain turns to snow. Yeah. All right. Casey Lassord, what do you think the best looking board is? I really like how the Dinosaurs Will Die Pow Reaper looks. I mean, if you're talking shape wise, The Power Reaper is actually super sick. I love the shape on that. My favorite shape of all time was the one I originally designed for the Marhar Lumberjack, because it was like, I really wish they could have done it, but unfortunately, technology and hand bending edges would have been impossible on that thing. Let's see. Gail Mitchell, best way to find powder stashes without sucking a local's dick. Go explore. If it looks like it's open, it's probably open. Go for it. That's the big thing. Like, I find almost all of my pow stashes just by going out and exploring. Like, you know, you just push your comfort zone and just go out, see what you can find. Like, if you see a cat, like you see like one of those goat paths that goes out and people are just like going all the way out and no one's going anywhere sooner, drop in sooner. If everyone's dropping sooner and there's no one, just go out as far as you can. Just remember, you got to keep coming back closer to where everything is. Go explore. It's the best way to find pow stashes, but watch out for sucker tracks. Sucker tracks I'm notorious for leaving sucker tracks for people. A sucker track is basically, you're like, there's a track in there and it looks like there's good pow. I'm going to follow it. And you get in about like 30, 40 feet and suddenly you realize it's either all full of deadfall or it's rocks or there's a fucking cliff or something. And the person actually hiked back out. That's a sucker track. Like, you got to learn to trust your gut a little bit when you're looking at it. But I'm notorious for leaving sucker tracks for people. Like, I'll roll up on a cliff and be like, oh, fuck that. That is going to kill you. And I'll roll back through my path as far back as I can and then cut down again. So it looks like someone actually went there and someone else went this way. And it'll be so funny because I've seen people like literally do it and like fall off things. And I'm like, oh, God, they're dead. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Benchy, speaking of the villain, what's the difference between it and the Huck knife? They seem pretty similar on paper. I believe they share the same camber profile, but the side cuts are a little different. And I think one of them's got, is it the Popster core or whatever they call it? So it's got like a little different blend of Paulownia, bamboo, and aspen in it, which changes the snap off of it. When you actually ride them, you notice a difference in how they engage on edge, as well as where the sweet spots are in the tip and the tail. Honon Noken, what would be a good binding to pair with a wired vantage for an intermediate ride that mostly bombs groomers, some jumps along the way, and trees? So I would personally look at something like a Union Atlas, K2 Formula, Ride Rodeo, like kind of that all mountain jack of all trades binding, like Burton Cartel, maybe even the new mission that came out this year, because it's got some interesting stuff going on with it, or Rome DOD. I would kind of put like any of those just because I think they'd match really well with it. Nato the potato. I almost shit myself when I broke my tailbone on the mountain. I just had to accept it, but it stayed in. Oh, you got lucky, man. It was a turtle head poking. Cameron Holmrest, what's up with High Society? Got big for a bit and then vanished. I think their investor might have pulled some money. I don't know. I thought they were making stand-up paddle boards and shit. Like, fucking, I have no idea what that company's doing. I tried to work with them once, and they were the biggest pain in the dick, and they like made it out like I needed to do all this stuff for them, and I was like, you make less than 500 snowboards a year. Go fuck yourself, and you make skis. Which, nothing wrong with ski companies that make snowboards. Like, I love K2 and stuff, but those guys, they were clearly skiers that just decided to make snowboards afterwards. Okay. What else we got going on? Let's see. Okay. Gail Mitchell, most common way to get seriously hurt in the mud. So most actual serious accidents tend to actually happen at low speeds on lower angle shit. It's one of those things, like they hook an edge and suddenly it's just the way that, because they're falling with like, I don't know if it's just less speed, but it's just like dead weight or whatever. But it's just like the people get fucking obliterated or just get really drunk and run into trees. I'm pretty sure like some people hit trees today and died at Breckenridge. It's okay though. Everyone should tell everyone that people die when they come to Breckenridge and that no one should come here. Okay, Dan Rao, what is your take on spring break boards other than the Slush Slasher? They all seem very, very expensive, specialized boards. Well, that's the thing is they're like a limited run, you know, and not everyone's going to have them. They're originally hand designed by Corey Smith, and then you know Capita tweaks the geometries and stuff to make them at Mothership. But they're, I think they've got some interesting shapes and stuff. I need to ride more of it than what I've been on. Oh, let's see. Oh, man, this is a tough one. Cam Naguzzi, wondering what your thoughts on the Jaeger situation are. Dude seemed like a pretty cool influence in the community. I saw they did a tribute run for him at Mammoth. Pretty cool gesture. Jaeger was the fucking real deal in a sea of cookie cutter people. He was probably one of the most original people I've ever met. And that guy was so fucking genuine, but was fighting some serious internal demons. I also think he got a concussion a year or two ago, and that really rattled his brain. And he wasn't snowboarding that much, and I think he lost a bunch of his sponsors. But I think he had a head injury, and whatever it did, it kind of put him over, coupled with a bunch of other things that were going on with his life. And that's the problem with people that burn bright like that. They tend to have mental issues, and that fucking so sad. Like Jaeger, he made such an impression on all of us in Summit when he was here. Anytime he was here, it was like if he was here, you went out of your way to go and try to hang out with him because he was so infectious and awesome. I think he's a victim of snowboard industry. I think he's, you know, and how this industry runs itself. And I also feel like there might have been some behind the scenes stuff that none of us knew about going on there. But overall, it's fucking sad to see him gone. It really upset me doing that because like my time with him was so limited, but it was so memorable. And I've got friends that traveled with him and filmed with him and stuff, and to see how that reacted, it sucks. And I know how everyone's like, oh, well, if you're feeling suicidal, you should reach out. Let me tell you, when you're in that zone, you don't reach out. You're trying to cope with it as best you can. You don't look to anyone else. So if people were more cognizant that someone's internally hurting, they could have prevented it and stuff. It fucking sucks. Like it just fucking sucks. And Kevin and I are gonna talk about him in the next podcast when we film it. So yeah. Paul Falconbridge. I'm a surfer who snowboards. I've just got myself a Flying V on the grounds of it being a good board to complement my surfy ride style. You have just said it sucks. Have I made a mistake? I mean, if you're looking to surf around, sure. It's got so much fucking rocker in it. Like that thing is just like, it's like the tightest V. Like, I mean, that thing just creates such a pivot point. You lose so much contact and edge hold with it that it just doesn't engage. It's just sloppy all over. I mean, if I was riding deep snow, yeah, but the second you hit ice, it's just like, I'm fucked. So, all right. Let's see. Kale Mitchell, common mountain etiquette that you see broke the most. Oh, just go stand at the top of a terrain park anywhere. Just watch it. Pizzaing right through the fucking park. Can't even turn, but they're going in there, jumping off the sides of lips, cutting people off, yelling at the people they cut off like there's that level of fucking entitlement. My favorite is the people that just because the person downhill has the right of way, they think it doesn't matter what they do, even if they're in a blind spot, that it's their right of way. My favorite are the people that are like, because they bought a lift ticket, it's their fucking mountain for the goddamn day. And whatever, doesn't matter that they have to share it with everyone, and that it's all technically our mountains if it's on Forest Service. And so that level of entitlement, just fucking straight bullshit. Let's see what else we got going on here. Blee McGee, what site do you trust the most for powder forecast? OpenSnow.com. But mainly because Joel Gratz, the guy that started it, he does the Colorado forecast. He tends to be pessimistic with snow total, so he'll give you a lower snow total, and then we end up with more, which is really good. But there's a bunch of different meteorologists on there, and they do a really good job of checking the European model against the North American model, and I think there's one other model that they check, just to kind of figure out all the different things. They're really good. Like that's the one that I genuinely tend to go to every morning when I'm checking stuff out. S2000 guy, I thought you hated the Atlas and left them on the mountain. Just because I hated them doesn't mean anything. Plus, mine they've changed it, I think, since the time I wrote them. So, yeah. Jeff DeMoose 776, please help me. I'm starting to shred with skiers and I'm scared. You need to slowly convert them to snowboarding, or just repeatedly throat punch them and assert dominance from the get-go. So there we go. Raul Duke with the $5 super chat. 5 more for the cause. All right. Avron's cock. I want y'all to know that I'm standing up and I want Kevin. There you go. You can't have him. I don't know where he is. Ugh. Kale Mitchell, do you think we'll ever see a day where snowboarders can ride places like Elton Deer Valley? Maybe eventually when climate change takes over and they need every dollar they can fucking get from anyone. I don't know. They're talking about building another resort to rival Deer Valley that's going to be skiers only, like in the same area where Deer Valley is. I mean, Utah really just fucking hates snowboarders, which is really funny because Brighton is like the most ultimate snowboarder mountain ever. So yeah, that's really weird. Paul Falconbridge. Okay, thanks, Avon. Any board suggestions, or should I just score a cambered board? Well, you're looking for something with like that surfy style. There are, I would look for something like, you might like the GNU Hyperkey Arv or the anti-gravity. Otherwise, check out some of the stuff from Arbor, because their reverse camber, in my opinion, is actually the best in the world, just because of the way the grip tech and everything works with it. So, yeah. Let's see. Richard Herleman. I'm low intermediate, 155 pounds, size 9. Struggled with a narrow stance at 20 inches wide to find a park-focused board that I can also ride the whole mountain. Best board for me. Let's see. So you're probably looking for something like around 150 to 152. Who's got a narrower insert? I want to say Ride does with like the Machete, but I might be wrong. But I think the Ride Machete might work for you. Otherwise, maybe a Capita Horoscope would work for you as well, or an Ultra Fear. That might be another one for you. You could always check out a K2 Worldwide Weapon as well. All right. Nato the Potato. Does the super chat go towards moisturizers for Kevin so Alan Russell can skin him easier? No, it actually goes for baby powder so Alan can actually put Kevin's skin suit on easier, because Alan's a big boy and Kevin's kind of little. Kale Mitchell, worst city in Colorado doesn't have to be a shred town. Greeley, everyone knows that. Greeley's the worst. Scott Tamplin, when I lived in Breck, I-70 was a highway, not a parking lot. Do you think Summit County will blow up to the point that you'll want to move to avoid lift lines and get some actual riding? I don't understand where people think I don't do any riding. Like I know how to like get around and not worry about traffic and lines, like, fucking fine with me. I know Saturdays are a shit show. I just go to Aspen or I go to Steamboat. That's all. But other than that, like, the big thing is they overbuilt Summit County, and then they sold out any housing they could have given to their workforce. So there's no workforce. So everyone's either commuting in or there's just everyone's understaffed. That's the bigger issue with it. Also, just the overinflation of housing prices here right now, like the way the prices of shit, it's just fucking astronomical. And that just blows my mind. I think if we had a recession and saw some constriction in the market, I think Summit County would actually get a little bit better. All right. Pat McFarland, do you have any experience with polarized versus non-polarized goggles? Which do you like best? I do. I've used both. I like polarized. I think it gives it a little bit better contrast and it's a little bit better in low light. I also, depending on what grade coloring they use and for light transmission and whatnot, I think you actually, like, you can have a darker lens when it's polarized, but you're still going to get just as good visibility with a lighter lens. Especially, you'll notice that, like, when you get into the shadows or if the clouds come in and whatnot. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Ian Bauer, do you think I should get a T-Rice Pro model instead of my old Skate Banana? I think you should burn your fucking Skate Banana. Like, that board fucking sucks. It's the fucking worst. Ugh. Yeah. The fucking worst. Okay. DJ Episteme. Thoughts on GNU's C3 profile. Notice T-Rice rides C2 rocker, Mulair rides the C3. C3, depending which model of board it's on, I actually really like it because it's basically like a Camber 2.0. They say that there's that flex point in the middle, but every one that I've put flat, you can see that it's like it goes flat and then it comes up and then it's flat again. It's easier to load and you still get that pop and snap of it. C2 has its place. And it can be really fun and slush, and it's easier to manipulate the board and just get the nose up or get the tail up, depending if you want to press it or if you're like in slush or you're just like slashing hard pow and shit like that. And so it does kind of work that way. It's different strokes for different folks, but I also think that no one rides on the level that Travis does, and he can pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants. So there is that. Yes. All right. What do we got going on here? Okay. John Omler. Any advice for mid-Atlantic guys to cope with these shitty winters? Dude, you guys are getting pissed on with rain. I feel so bad for anyone there that bought a season pass because your season's going to just be shit. And you're going to be riding on mud. Well, if you're not an alcoholic, you could always become an alcoholic and just drink till you black out. Because every time you black out, that's like time travel. You just wake up in the future. So the more times you do that, the more times you end up in the future, the faster time goes by. And then, you're there. Unfortunately, you'll probably die. But other than that, man, keep checking Southwest's want to get away weekend stuff. Like if you've got an Epic or an Icon pass and you can fly anywhere, and just keep checking in and out for flight deals. Also, I heard something like there's the R Ice Coast Shred It or whatever on Reddit, and people are always posting deals like on lodging and stuff. So you could always check that because I bet you someone will tell you where you can get like cheap lodging and you could fly in or travel to on the East Coast that might be getting snow. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. Jake XSV, is housing still expensive if you're like half hour or hour away from the mountain? Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so right now places that even 2 years ago were probably like $500-600 are now up in the $800-900 range or more. And the closer you get into the season, or if you start to get into the season, that price jumps. I mean, I saw something absurd. Like they claimed it was a loft, but I'm pretty sure it was like a storage attic that had like a wall open, and I think they were charging like 1,400, and it was up in Leadville. So I mean, you're still looking at like a half hour, 40-minute drive to Copper, and that is just obscene to me because I looked at buying a house in Leadville, and my mortgage payment for a 3-bedroom would have only been 1,400. So, yeah. Aaron Homuth, a suggestion for a decent budget binding. Don't give a fuck about the brand. Now IPOs keep falling apart. Warranty is shit. Fuck Skate Tech. You want to know what, man? I think the new Union STR, Kevin was really stoked on that. I think was that like $189 binding. For me personally, my go-to price point binding forever has been the K2 Indy. I think that's like 169 or something like that. And you can pick up a last year's. I've seen the last year's going for under 100, and that is a super, super solid like price point binding. So always check the closeouts on any online retailer because you can usually find deals there and go for anything that's last year. That'll save you some money there. Okay, what do we got here? Camden Goozy, you ever heard of places having a separate pass to ride park? My local resort has its own park pass, and I've never seen it at any other place I've been to. Another way to take my fucking... Wait, they make you pay for the park pass? So you have to pay an additional amount for the terrain park? That's fucking bullshit. I've been to places where you have to go take a safety class just to be able to ride the park. Like Stevens Pass, I was there years ago, and I mean, I went through like 5-6 times, no problem. Then suddenly this fucking heinous she bitch stopped me, and I looked at her and I was like, "Your biggest jump in here isn't even as big as like our main jumps at Breckenridge." And they made me go, and I had to take a fucking test. So like I'm in there with all these fucking like nerd ass people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. I fell asleep. They yelled at me for that. I had my feet up and I was just like on my phone, not paying attention to anything they said. And I was like, just give me the fucking thing. And it was like, look before you leave. Blah, blah, blah. Don't cut people off. Call your drop. Make sure X means closed. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But I've never heard of another place charging for just access to the train park. That is some fucking bullshit. Like they are really trying to fucking get any dollar they can out of you at that point. Let's see what we got going on down here. All right. Let's see. Pat McFarland, how about cheap lodging in Colorado? So the big thing with lodging in Colorado, especially if you're going to a destination resort, is to book months or even a year in advance. If you do that, you're going to get the best rate. But if you wait to the last minute, you can check out like Hotels Tonight and stuff like that. And you can probably score a deal. Some of the places, even if you walk in last minute, be like, you got any open rooms? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll be like, what's the best deal you can get? So you fill it tonight. And sometimes they'll even come down 50% on it. But I mean, if you're talking like some of the places in Summit County, when you're looking to save money, you're going to the rat holes over in Silverthorne, and like you're probably going to come out with scabies. Otherwise, there's a few bed and breakfasts like that, but Airbnb is always a good option just to see if there's anything out there, or VRBO, and just see what's available and whatnot. All right. Let's see. All right, everybody. Kevin Hub is in the chat. So if anyone has any questions for Kevin, just put them over in the chat. He'll try to answer them as best he can. He's here for a short time. I didn't think he was going to make it. Thank God he did. Woo! Ian Bauer. It's either a Arbor Westmark, Arbor Draft, or a T-Race Pro. Which would you recommend? Arbor Westmark, hands down, out of those three. Yeah. Let's see. Cynthia, any suggestions for stiff traditional lace boots currently made? I like the DC Lynx for reference. Lynx isn't even that stiff. Fuck. You were talking like full lace. What is it? There's the one from Vans. and I don't think it's the infused. What the hell is it? But there's one from Vans that's stiffer. What else is out there? 32, the XLT, but they will break in after 32 days and go super soft on you. There's also, I mean, if you do speed zone, there's more options because you can always just cut the speed zone and turn it into a regular lace if you want, so you can get rid of the handle, like on the Solomon stuff. Otherwise, what is it? What's that one from Nitro? It's not. It's the one above the team. There's one above the team, and it's lace, and that's different. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Let's see. Let's see. What else we got going on here? I think we're caught up there. Let's see. Michael Anderson, what's the chance we can see Kevin and Alan in a video together? I think they'd be happy, or at least one of them would be. Oh, Alan would be the happiest man on earth. Kevin would be beyond paranoid and scared for his life. I think we've firmly established that superfan Alan Russell is not allowed anywhere within 1,000 feet of Kevin. So, yeah. Let's see. Heck and Dan, when are you going to hit up the Arizona slopes? I want to go to Snow Bowl so bad. It's like I just really want to go to Arizona Snow Bowl at some point. I don't know when. It's more of an if it will happen. I know if I go down to New Mexico, I kind of want to cut back over and go to Arizona. Flagstaff was rad. I actually really like driving through there on 66 and checking it out. Dino Speranza, what's your favorite resort to ride in Colorado? Looking for cliff drops or similar? Arapahoe Basin, if you're looking to jump off stuff. It's got the steeps. If the snow's good, it's great. Otherwise, I pretty much ride copper all the time. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Fat Man Scoot, going to Utah to ride Brighton off my Icon Pass and drop into Powder Mountain for a day. Recommendation for where to stay and getting around. Flying into SLC, not trying to break the bank nor cheap out. Your best bet is probably going to be staying in Salt Lake City then. The further away from the canyon and closer to downtown, you can probably find some stuff like that. I mean, if you're going to Pow Mau, you can stay in Ogden. Ogden would be a little bit cheaper. I mean, whenever I go to Utah, I don't get hotel rooms. I have friends and I just stay in their guest room. So that's kind of it. The big thing to remember, if you're going up the canyon to Brighton, either go up early. You're going to pay for parking. Be prepared for that. Otherwise, park at the bottom and hop the bus and just go up. But you get there a little late, you're probably sitting in traffic waiting to get up the canyon. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, man, they're friggin' plowing out there. Dude, we are getting so hammered right now. All right. S2000 guy, what is the Captain Mercury of the volume shift boards, and would you recommend a volume shift for a quiver one? Realistically, I think the closest one that would be the Mercury of volume shifts would be the War Pig. I think they would probably be the most versatile one out there, followed up by the Marhar Lumberjack, and then I would probably say like the K2 Party Platter. Those would be like my top three that I would go with in there. If the situation's right, I would definitely recommend a volume shifted board as a quiver one, but probably not something for everyone. It's just like not one of those things. It's got to be the right condition. So, Shabashly, can Alan just Buffalo Bill Kevin already? No, I've still got use for Kevin right now. When I don't have use for him, I'm going to give him to Alan, and then he can Buffalo Bill him. Sorry, Kevin, you just found out the hard way. All right. Nato the Potato. Is there a top 5 for craziest shaped boards? Good crazy, not scare crazy. No, but that's actually a good suggestion. Maybe I'll make that happen for you. Nick S. Best niche snowboard. Maelstrom. Maelstrom's the best. I don't care what anyone says. That's the best fucking board that they have ever made. Ever. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Anyways. Let's see. Ian Bauer. Are Union Force bindings better than bent metal logic? It's not necessarily that they're better. They're just different. They're going to flex a little bit different just in the base tray. You're going to notice that. I think actually, like, the Force is a workhorse binding, and it's kind of what Union made its name on. The Logic, my issue with the Logic is that high back. I've seen a lot of people actually crack them from chairs, like hitting them and stuff. So that's always something to consider right there. Tyler Barr, any good bagel shops in Summit County? Clint's Bakery on Main Street, Breckenridge. They have a really good bagel sandwich, and my buddy Ian makes it. And if you give him attitude, he'll scream at you. It's fucking amazing. He like always looks like he's going to kill someone. So there's that. Otherwise, if you really want good baked goods, go to New York. But our stuff is what it is. Powderhorn or Butterhorn on Main Street, Frisco. You can sometimes get some really good baked goods there as well. Otherwise, Whole Foods. All right. Let's see. Paul Falconbridge. Europe needs you both, Afern and Kevin. When is Angry going to do a European tour? I feel Angry Snowboarder is duty bound to service their European clique. I'd like to go to Europe. It's just not in the cards right now. If I did, though, I want to do a dome tour for some reason. I have no idea why, and it just sounds like a god awful idea. But I just want to go on and do a dome tour. So yeah. Let's see. Richard Herleman. When are you going to add the T-shirt behind you to Angry Snowboarder merchandise store? I assume you're talking about the would you buy a snowboard from this guy with James Beastie from the Good Rate? The problem is if I sell something with his likeness on it, I could potentially be sued. So unfortunately, I cannot do that. Like I've looked into it, and I think because it's a weird public space type thing we got going on there. I don't think I can get away with actually doing it unless I paid him a royalty, and I'm never going to give that motherfucker any money because he sucks dicks with his butthole and he gargles fucking Alfredo sauce. So yeah. Let's see. Jacob Griffith, are you going to do anything special for the 1,000th video on the channel? Am I getting close to 1,000 already? Fucking, I thought we surpassed 1,000. Fucking, I don't even remember. I just keep uploading videos, and next thing I know, the number keeps increasing. I don't know. I still can't believe that we got 2 million views this last year, up from 950,000 the year before. So, let's see. No, we got Alan Russell and Kevin in the in the chat. This is going to get scary, people. It's going to get scary. Although I don't think that's the real Alan Russell. Oh man. Let's see. What else is going on? I think we kind of caught up on those questions. Yes. Okay, so you're saying I've got 994 videos up right now. That's what you can see to the public. I think because I got like another 20 already uploaded that I just have to schedule. So yeah. Let's see. Adrian Ellis, how is the signal disruptor? Is it Noodle or Poppy capable 30 to 40 foot kickers? Does it keep its integrity for a reasonable period of time? You're killing it out here with these lives. Thanks. It's stiffer than people actually think it is. So that's like for big jumps board. That really is. It's stiffer. I didn't, long term. There's so many variables that can decamber or kill a board, but I mean, if you're just talking average use, that thing should have no problem keeping its shape and its camber. So yeah. Benjamin Dorschner, thoughts on best battalion this season? Camel Toe. Camel Toe or the Surfer or Party Wave. Like those are the three best boards from battalion in a heartbeat. So Party Wave is phenomenal. Camel Toe blew me away. Like I've wanted to ride one forever, and when I finally got it, I was like, I don't really want to get off it. This thing is amazing. So yeah. Scott Tamlin, I'm all about the veggie-loaded, fiber-rich diet. Top 5 ways not to shit your pants on the hill. Well, shit before you go ride. That's just basic common sense. But when in doubt, you can always stick a butt plug up in there, and that'll keep it plugged, and you might get a little pleasure out of it. You could do the LA Miracle weight loss diet 48 hours before you go shred, so that way the 24 hours you spend pooping, there's nothing left in you. Though you'll be so dehydrated, you'll probably die when you snowboard. Let's see, you could wear a diaper, but then you are actually shitting yourself, so that would be more like an honorable mention. Okay. Anthony Van Goggles, how do we know if we are ripped off with $200 Oakleys? Well, did you buy knockoff Oakleys? Because otherwise you didn't get ripped off. You paid for a lot of R&D and a really solid lens. Like, fucking Oakley makes some of the best in the fucking world out there. And they're just super, super solid on that. You want to talk about getting ripped off, buy some of those cheap-ass Amazon goggles when your eyes fry and you got to get laser eye surgery or you're wearing corrective lenses, you'll understand. So, yeah. All right, what do we got here? Andreas Cesarian, glad to support. Thanks for all your content. Thanks for the super chat, bud. S2000 guy. This is for when I see you at Copper next week. Point and yell, hey, look, it's James Beastie from The Good Ride, to which no one will fucking respond. No one. No one knows who that is. I got recognized today at happy hour getting tacos after the first live stream. Random dude. Never fucking seen him. Came over and was like, high five. And I was like, yeah, okay. And just was like, he's like, that was weak. Give me another one. He's like, thanks for all you do. And I was just like, okay, I'm just trying to pay my bill and leave. But, yeah. Yeah. Anyways. You can yell that all you want, but I'll tell you what. I'll go make a lap with you through the Peace Park and show you how not to die when you hit something and jump. How's that sound? Okay. Oh, God. Brian Shade, talk about Buckhouse and his shit helmets. Fuck that. I don't know if you saw the comment that I left in the comment thread on that video, but yeah, the podcast segment video, our Amazon brands hurting snowboarding, the one question Jonathan Buckhouse asked, I left a great comment about him promoting those shit-ass helmets, so everyone should just go read that. Let's see. Marco Purchase, what's the next step up in progression from a Rosinal circuit board? The sky's the limit for you, bud. You're coming off like a first-time, never-ever snowboard. So realistically, like if you stay with Rosinal, you're going to the Templar, but in my opinion, I would actually look more like at a Jones Frontier or a Yes Libre instead. So you're going to get that camber underfoot, but you're going to get rocker in the tip of the tail, and they're so easy to flex and engage that you're going to be able to load that camber with very minimal effort, but it's not going to be as hooky out at the tip of the tail because you got the rocker. So that's what I would do. Oh, man. Camden Goosey, most obnoxious fan interaction you've ever had. I actually talked about this in the last live stream that I did, but while I was back in New York, this kid just fucking couldn't get the hint that I was trying to eat food and be with a friend of mine I hadn't snowboarded with at Holiday Valley in 15 years, and like he couldn't do it. And I had to actually be like, yo, man, I'm gonna be really rude, but I'm trying to eat food and I want to hang out with my friend that I got very limited time with, so you need to respect it. Like he just couldn't couldn't grasp that concept. It was fucking sad. Ugh. Let's see what we got here. Phil Wang, Aaron, you are much more restrained than I thought you would be, calling Buckhouse out. Vacation has made you soft. No, vacation has not made me soft. If you read the giant ass comment that I wrote yesterday, was it yesterday? 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago, yeah, because yesterday was New Year's Eve. I fucking worked 11 hours at the liquor store to help them out. Yeah, no, that pretty much destroys his character in every way and makes me look way better. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. Brandon X, why don't they make Intuition helmet liners like they do for boots? Why, are you going to heat mold your helmet then? Yeah, oh, it's not going to provide any extra protection for you, that's for sure. Okay, S2000 guy, give me the good taco spots too. I can eat an ungodly amount of tacos in one sitting. Okay, so if you're at Copper, there's Mahi's Tacos. So in Center Village, walk past Gravity across the bridge on the right. In there, the Forager is the best. It's the vegetarian taco, but trust me, it's fucking amazing. It's the best one on the menu. The second best one is the Flaco Taco. So it is actually like a taco stuffed with mashed potatoes, chicken, cheese, and all the goodness, and like fried, and it's fucking amazing. So there's that. Then if you go to Frisco, go to Hacienda Real. That's just really good Mexican food, and it's right by the Walmart. So that's it. If you come to Breckenridge, the best taco spot is Sancho's Tacos in the La Cima Mall. And then if you're in Silverthorne, go to La Perla. It's down by the Target. It's a Mexican butcher shop that does tacos in it, so you're getting like real Mexican meat in there. And then if you're anywhere and the tamale lady is walking around, get the fucking tamales from her, because those things are fucking fire. So yeah, best advice I can give you about tacos in Summit County. Let's see what else is going on. Great American Buffalo, have you ever wanted a helmet that fits so snugly you could mistake your helmet fit for a stroke? No, the only helmet that I want like that is the one that's got the electrical charges hooked to the shotgun shells that'll just kill me. Like, that's it. So yeah, there you go. Jeff DeMoose 776, do you have any tips for learning back threes? If you can do a back one and land it every single time, just keep looking over your shoulder, and it's going to bring it around eventually. That's the best thing I can give you. And don't be doing any of this shit where you like huck and throw yourself like that from your shoulders, because that just discombobulates you everywhere. So, yeah, hopefully there. Jacob Gravitt, have you ever heard of Rad Air snowboards? Oh, when someone really pisses me off and I don't feel like answering their stupid question because they've become a hand holder, I tell them to just buy a Rad Air tanker every single time. Fucking 210 Rad Air tanker. Yeah, I knew someone that rode for him way back in the day in big mountain contests and stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of it. So, yeah, let's see. What else is going on? What else? Let's see. Richard Hurleman, thoughts on the Burton name dropper now that it has Pure Pop camera? You seem to like the old version. I haven't been on the new one. I need to grab one from a shop, I think, because getting Burton boards right now is like the most heinous thing in the world. Like Kevin actually can sometimes get them for me, but yeah, I need to. I just need to ride that at some point. So yeah. Shred Junkie, I know you hate Keystone, but they do have night riding, and I just rode Night Pow. Can't do that at Copper. Yeah, you can. It's called a split board. Fucking just skin up and go down. I don't really care. Keystone sucks. Keystone will always suck. Keystone is the fucking worst. Ian Bauer, best very low light lenses. So I've been a fan of the Dragon Yellow lens and the pink Iridium Prism, or is it just the Prism? Whatever it is from Oakley. That's the one that I've been wearing the most for POW days. So yeah. Let's see. Sam Deej, I finally bought a Solomon Sleepwalker 2020. Thanks for all your vids. Time to get rid of the Burton board that was way too big for me. Well, I'm glad you bought a board that you wanted, and I'm glad that we could help you. Let's see. Jacob Gravitt, what is the longest board you've ever written? Big Pink, the 193 Nitro Cannon, the Swallowtail. That was definitely the biggest one I've ever written. Let's see. Let's see. I think we kind of caught up on questions there. Oh, here we go. Brock Groninger. What are your thoughts on Crochet shaped boards? The shapes themselves look phenomenal, and judging by like what they are on paper, those things should rail a turn. The big issue that I have, I've had a few people that have owned them and have said the same thing to me. They're all super torsionally stiff. So that's one thing, but I haven't been able to actually grab one and see for myself how they ride. Oh, good follow-up question from Nato the Potato. What is the shortest board you've ever ridden? I rode a 142 women's K2. Was it the Gretchen Bleiler Pro model? You want to talk? My boots were hanging out like that much on the toe and the heel. That was fucking sketchy. Anthony Van, do you remember the Morris spoon back before it was bought by whoever? Is there a board that is close to it? I miss the real spoon. So the closest I've ever ridden to the spoon was an old Echelon, because it like the way the sides beveled on that. But right now, I think, because if you really want to downsize, the closest thing that would probably be to it would be a lumberjack, because Marhar's got that sideways rocker, so it's a 3 millimeter bevel in there. It's not as spooned out as that. That would probably be one of the closest to it, I think, right there. So yeah, let's see. Great American Buffalo. Any way to get into the splitboard side of riding for an economically conscious person, or do I need to sell my last nut to get into? Dude, so here's the best thing that I have found about splitboard people. So splitboards are the largest growing segment in snowboarding. But what's funny to me is, while it's growing, so many people get into it and then they realize how much work it is. If you hunt around on Craigslist or Kijiji or even Facebook Marketplace, even eBay, you can find people selling one that's like 3 years old that maybe has 2 days on it for next to nothing, because people are just dumb and they sell them for so much cheap, even though they hold the resale value. The other thing is, you should check with the Splitboard shop out near Ogden, Utah. I think it's splitboardshop.com, but they sometimes sell their demos, and you might be able to pick up like a used demo from them for next to nothing. The big thing that's going to get you is going to be that beacon shovel probe. Like, you can get a used shovel, you can get a beacon, the poles, all that shit for splitboarding relatively cheap. If you hunt around and find stuff that's used, but the beacon is where it's going to get you. Like, you can buy a used beacon, but like, you got to make sure that you get one of the more modern ones. Like, there's a lot of tracker BCA tracker 2s out there, and they're becoming obsolete, and they also have some issues. And there's other ones that have had like recalls, and people are just selling them. So be very careful with that as well. Whisper, a big hello from Brazil. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone too, by the way. It's 2020. We've survived. Barbara Walters is still alive. I've already used that joke once, but we're going to use it again. So, yeah. Let's see. Daniel Boddicker, have you been to the Lake Tahoe area? I lived in South Lake for a couple months at one point. And I visited up there a few times, and I got a lot of friends there and stuff. It's not my scene, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Peter Velarde, is the Yes Optimistic really a 9 of 10 stiffness? What is a 9 of a 10? What is this? This is a freaking, it's a scale number that has no quantitative formula to actually prove it. The Optimistic is a stiffer board. It is very stiff. It is torsionally stiff. You notice right away that you can't really torsionally twist it as much. This is what gives it so much power when you're on edge and why it is an amazing board for ripping a carve on. Let's see. I think we're caught up on those questions. Jake XSV, for the rest of your life, would you rather endure shitty, icy conditions every other shred season or have to share lift rides with minimum 3 skiers? Take my chances with the skiers because I'm pretty sure I could throw them off the chair. I feel like as long as the conditions are good, they might not die. I don't know. That guy survived getting thrown off the chairlift at Aspen. So there is that. But yeah, I feel like I'll take my chances with the skiers. A lot of throat punches are going to happen. Brett M., have you reviewed the T-Rice Pro? Any thoughts on it as an all-mountain board that's kind of icy most of the season? Yes. So there is a review of the blunt, and I think there is a review of the pointy tip now, too. I can't remember. But the big thing with the T-Rice is when you bump up from the 57.5 to the 61.5, you go the shape changes. So you get the pointy tip versus the blunt tip. Now, the blunt tip is like the freestyle focused one. And so it just engages different just because of the way the blunt shape is on it versus the pointy tip. So you got to ask yourself, do you want like the more free ride one or do you want the more freestyle one? But the big thing is with that magnet traction, it is going to grip exceptionally well on icier conditions. Walt, Happy New Year's. What do you think of the 2018 Rome Factory Rocker? Pretty sure we actually have a review of the 2018 on angrysnowboarder.com. I don't think we have one on YouTube for it. The Factory Rocker, I mean, it's a good like entry-level snowboard that you can progress on. It's mellow and forgiving. It's not the most mind-blowing thing out there, but I mean, it gets the job done. Cameron Richardson, preferred Summit County Resort, Arapahoe Basin, or Copper Mountain. Those are the two that I ride the most. Great American Buffalo. Speaking of throwing people off lifts, is the American Flyer still a roller coaster ride? They were loading them 6 on every chair the other day, and they didn't skip a chair in between, so I'm assuming they tightened the slack on the cable. I've only ridden it like 10 times this year because I've been riding American Eagle and cutting over instead of just dealing with American Flyer. But yeah, oh no, that chairlift is still fucking sketchy. Now it's in that fucking bubble. Wyatt Baker, any boards out there have a harder, more durable base than others on the market? I ride in a super rocky area. So the strongest, most durable base that I've found is anything that's Isosport, not Durasurf. So like if it says it's got an ISO base on it, it tends to be a little more durable. The bigger thing is if you're hitting rocks, is you want something with a sublimated base instead of a die cut base. That way there's less seams on the bottom of the board. So if you hit a rock, you're not like pulling the die cut and just fucking it up even more. You just have a solid piece that can be P-texed easier. But yeah, my Tellus backslash, I have drilled some serious fucking rocks with that thing, and it's been fine. Mervins also tend to be a little bit more durable in my opinion. Like for some reason, those things like you can hit shit. Marhars are also pretty solid. Like my lumberjack, it survived a house explosion. Like the only thing that's fucked up on the base is where like some glass and roof tar like embedded in it after the house exploded. So yeah. All right. Matt Friel, what board would you take to Japan? Endeavor Archetype. It's probably going to go to Japan with me next year because I'm not going this year. It just keeps raining. S2000 guy. Boarding Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Hitting Copper and A Basin will possibly make the drive. Or Copper and A Basin, yeah, will possibly make the drive to Aspen. Out of these three, which would you spend the most time at? Well, I'm a little biased, but I'll probably be spending while you're here all my time at Copper. Unless A Basin gets a lot of snow, and I just want to hide from people. But yeah, but the drive out to Aspen will definitely be worth it if they get the snow. They're on a different storm track than Summit County, so you always want to make sure before you go, like you can check Open Snow. They're really good about the Colorado snow report, but always check that. And Aspen's definitely worth the drive over for at least a day. So, all right. Let's see. I think we're caught up on those questions. Snowbirdie, tell the story about the house explosion. My friend's house exploded, and he was borrowing my lumberjack, and it was like one of three things that survived the house explosion. Basically, we got so much snow last year, the roof slid like this because it was an A-frame. The snow slid and hit the gas line going into the house, and it broke, and it filled the crawl space under the house up. And then when the heater or the pilot light, it hit the pilot light, it blew the house up, and two of the guys were home. And the one guy got blown out of the second floor and fractured his pelvis and shit. My friend, if he'd been home, would have been dead. But yeah, the lumberjack was on the front porch, and basically, like when the house exploded, everything hit it, and it was like the only thing still standing. So yeah. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Richard Hurlman, do you ever see snowboards being constructed with anything other than wood cores? Is there anything better out there? So I've seen it all. Like there was the Vapor Light core, or whatever they called it, from Burton, which was in the Burton Vapor, and that was it was the Alumafly. So it was like aluminum in there. I mean, Palmers were made with fucking Nomex honeycomb, which is just cardboard, honeycombed cardboard covered in epoxy. There was a whole bunch of foam injected stuff. Moro did that. Let's see. There was that one company that did tip to tail carbon fiber, including the core. Was that Herr Vonster or some shit like that? You got Titanol inside the side stuff now. There's Coroid cores coming out of the Playmaker factory, which Nitro does, which is basically like honeycomb, but it's a plastic honeycomb in there, and it reduces weight and whatnot. So yeah. All right. Brett M with the super chat. Keep on keeping on. Thanks, Brett. Nick Kochetkov. Keep it up with the super chat. Thanks, bud. Let's see. Cameron Guzzi, thoughts on the K2 bottle rocket? I ride a 2019 148 I picked up last year at the end of the season for a good deal, so I said fuck it and bought it. Second time riding a K2 and haven't been let down. Dude, the bottle rocket's actually I really like that board because you get a little bit more. It's like what I call a medium volume shift because it's a little more girthy on it, so it's a little more stable. It's got a good side cut to it. It's playful. It's just a good solid twin board that's a little bit wider. Matt Frail, are mini disc bindings no good for the channel system? I'm running Rome Black labels with a mini disc on my Endeavor Archetype. It's fine. I don't notice any issue with it. I mean, you just have less of a dead spot underfoot. Let's see. Jake XSV, my gloves just shit the bed. Why are your gloves able to shit, and why were they in your bed? That's the real question. That's what I want to know. So, okay, what else is going on? All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Jake XSV. My gloves just shit the bed. Any certain brands you guys recommend? There's a million micro brands. Tough to sift through. So I really like Howl. Howl's been really, really solid for me. But if you want something for longevity and it's just a glove company that's made them forever, Hestra. Like, yeah, you pay a lot, but you get that lifetime guarantee. So if you blow a seam or anything, you can send it to them and they'll stitch it back together. I actually miss having my Hestra trigger mitts. Someone stole one of the gloves. I think like they picked it up with something they shouldn't have. But yeah, Hestra is like if you take care of them, they'll go forever. But Howl's solid. I've also got a set of Drops. Like Drop has been making gloves for like 20 something years. Those are really good. Burton has some stuff. Dakine has some stuff. Volcom has some stuff. If you want something like a little more Scenester type ish, there's the Crab Grab mitts as well. So you got that. Scott Tamblin, I didn't go to the titty bar on New Year's Eve. Might as well put it towards a worthy cause. Thanks, legend. All right. Well, thank you, bud. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, Great American Buffalo. Gloves versus mittens. Trigger mitts. That way you still have the finger so you can point at people and poke them and just be like, ugh. And that way, you get the rest of your hands good. Because when you're in full mitts, people don't know if you're flipping them off underneath it. So you got that. I've been running gloves, actually, the last year since I lost that trigger mitt because Hestras aren't cheap. Fucking want another pair. Kevin, get me another pair of Hestras. So, yeah. Brian Mullane, what's the ultimate Pat Benatar album to shred to? I only shred to Pat Benatar from the Legend of Billie Jean soundtrack. That's it. That's all I want I shred to. So there is that. Let's see. Okay, Camden Goose. Yeah, I had a 2015 K2 Subculture. This is one of my all-time boards. I used to rip down groomers on that board. Nail side hits, one of the most versatile boards I've owned. Took it in every turn. I got a 157 if you want it. I don't think it's the 2015 though. I think it's the 2016 or 2017. It's the black one, but I got a 157. So yeah. Let's see. Avery Cordova, favorite small mountain in Colorado, Monarch or Powderhorn. Those two, because it can't. Even though A Basin technically is a small mountain, it's just so blown out you can't call it that. But yeah, those two would be really solid. Let's see. Great American Buffalo. Huey Lewis in the News is a superior band to shred to. Well, I do agree that Huey Lewis's sports album is very good. They really started to come into the. No, I can't Patrick Bateman, you guys. I'm joking. If no one caught that American Psycho reference, shame on all of you. All right. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Snowbirdie, Napton, Willex, Board Archive, and SPC. Who you like? I've known Casey for 10 years. Like, Casey's a homie when he's in town. Like, people don't realize, like, he and I will just go out to dinner and hang out, like, if we got time. Like, I know he's super busy and stuff like that. Napton is what he is. I don't really – something about the octave of his voice that annoys me. It sets off my head injuries. But he lives a block behind me when he actually is in town. TJ's the real deal. Like, he's a good dude. Wish he would be a little more overly critical and maybe say a negative thing or two here or there in his reviews. And Kevin, it was, I mean, he is what he is. So yeah. Mr. Moon, I just got an Ultra Mountain Twin, super stable and rips carves with my stance. I'm only set back 1.5 centimeters. Should I set it back more or try to center it for groomers? Personal preference, man. I mean, if you're thinking it's ripping right now with just that setback, keep it. That's what I would do. Just roll with it. You'll be fine. So, S2000 guy. I was at a shop yesterday and they had a head snowboard. I had no idea they made boards. Must be awful. Actually, so Head has a ton of great technology. They're higher end stuff. I've got friends that ride for them and they swear about it. I've just like with Head USA, it's just harder to get stuff. I've never been able to, or I shouldn't say I've never been able to. I haven't been on a board in probably 15 years from them, but they actually have some really interesting stuff. So, yeah. Henry, hey, Averin, do you feel that stiff camber boards are a crutch? I ride aggressively and some days wonder if my boards are just letting me bulldoze over everything rather than actively managing the terrain. I don't think they're a crutch. I think they have their place, but I think what it is you, because as a rider, you learn to compensate and you learn how your equipment rides. And so there's certain things you can do. But I mean, if you're really worried about it, drop down to a softer flexing camber board and go try to, or even just demo one for a day and just go see what happens when you do the same thing and see if you get bucked around or not. And he'll tell you really quick if it's you or the board. Let's see. Will Kelly, what do you think about the Arbor Westmark camber? I wasn't a big fan of that, but I mean, I've also owned 6 Westmark rockers in my life, or well, I should say Blacklists, because the Blacklist turned into the Westmark rocker because it was the mid-wide one. But it was weird. It just felt a little looser out at the tips than I thought it would be, just because you got that uprise fender in there, so it wasn't gripping the way it want. Let's see. Brian Shea, ever ride the Spring Break catamaran? No, God, that I have asked for that. I asked for that to ride it, and they were just like, no. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. I think we're kind of caught up on those questions. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good on questions right now. So if anyone's got anything, just plop it down there. Either Kevin or I will answer that for you guys, hopefully. Let's see. At some point, Kevin and I need to sit down and figure out when we're going to do the Colorado meet and greets. We're definitely going to do something at A Basin, and I'm going to do something at Copper just because that's like home base and it's easy for me. And then got to figure out something as well for Powder Mountain for you. Ooh, Matt Frau, favorite Burton tree board. That was the branch manager. The favorite. I mean, I know where there's one for sale that I could always get if I wanted to, but that board was so mind blowing when I got on it. It was such a fucking amazing board. The branch manager, just like, fuck, that thing was so good of a board. And then like the Signal Yup is the spiritual successor to that, and then the spiritual successor to the Yup is the Will Snowboards model, and I've got a 54 coming next week. So see how that rides. Let's see. Dan Rao, do you think a board shop with its own subscription service in the Summit area would be too good? What service are they selling? That's the issue. Like, you know, it's what service. I mean, the subscription thing as a model is a really interesting thing to me. I mean, technically, we have one with Angry Snowboarder VIP because you're like basically subscribing because our sticker club, you get stickers every month in there, and then you got the Ultra Sticker Club tier, which is like every 3 months you get a big envelope of stickers in there. But yeah, so that's pretty solid. Oh, man. Jacob Gravitt, what's your opinion on Bollé goggles? They're a mid-level goggle company, but they've been around forever. I don't think there's like any mind-blowing technology with them, but I also don't think they're as bad as an Amazon goggle company. They're like slightly above that, say like that mid-range of things. Let's see. Else. I think we're kind of catching up on everything. Yeah, not seeing anything more in there. Ooh, board binding subscription service. That's like just doing a seasonal rental at this point. Which is super, super weird. Man, Frau, why did you steal Steven Seagal's glasses? Did I? Did I really steal his glasses? His fat ass ain't getting up to get them off me. Henry, have you ever been on a white gold board? Yes. God, what model? It was based off the Battalion Magic Carpet, I think, but it was a white gold. No, was it that one? It was one or two. I got one or two one year. Battalion threw them in when they were sending stuff, but I don't even think White Gold's making boards anymore. So, yeah. All right. Sean Jancy. Hey, what's your opinion of spy goggles? So, what is it? Is it Happy Lens is what they make. Spies come a long way, and there was like a couple years ago, it was like really questionable if they were going to survive, but now they're doing really well. Kevin knows a little bit more about spy goggles than I do, I believe. Okay. James Bray, can you make Kevin do a Can Kevin Carve It Kyle edition? He needs to carve Escape Banana whilst wearing a backpack, playing loud music, rear rock helmet after smashing a monster in the car park. No. That's definitely not happening. We're not. Actually, Kevin and I have to sit down and kind of talk about what the possibilities are for season 3 of Can Kevin Carve It, because you guys are getting 2 more. So Friday's episode, spoiler alert, it is the LibTech banana hammock. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Paul Falconbridge, thoughts on Dragon goggles? The LumaLens is the one thing I really need to test out with them, and I'm going to try to pick up a set here in the next week. But because a friend of mine wants to trade me a brand new set of NX2 with LumaLens for a set of bindings because he needs some for his POW board. And so I'm going to try to do that. But I actually rock Dragons. They're my Bright Day goggle because I just have a darker lens in there. They're pretty solid goggles. The lenses are pretty solid. There's like one spot in the lens where I get distortion, and that's it. So, yeah. Let's see. Rashaba Pukan. Any plans to review some of the newer Signal stuff? Yes. Kevin has the WoW, I think. That's what it's called. Kevin's got that anyways. But I got to email Mark over there and try to set something up. Like next week is the big mass emailing to brands for the 2021 stuff and trying to get everything where it needs to be. So hopefully we can, get that. Let's see. NATO the Potato. You mentioned a shirt club tier in the last live chat. Would you consider a hoodie tier every 3 months? Send out a hoodie or jacket type deal. That wouldn't be through Angry Snowboarder VIP, I think. That would be just a straight different subscription service. So it'd be like Angry Subscription Service or Angry Snowboarder Subscription or something like that, or Angry T-Shirt Club or something like that. Possibility is there for sure for something like that. Like I could do like a T-shirt subscription. I could do that. It's getting the infrastructure in place and getting everything ahead so that I could do it. And I mean that would definitely be something I would consider down the road, but it's definitely out there. Okay. Let's see. Steve Doobie, on a snowboarder magazine video, they interviewed pros asking if they ever shat their pants while snowboarding. Most said no or one time. Only Scott Stevens said many, many a times. Why is that? He's got incontinence. I don't know. He's probably scaring himself, and he's got a weak anus, and his butthole just like releases and everything discharges. I don't know. Ask Scott yourself. He's on Instagram. Slide into his DMs. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. That's 2000 guy. Excited to watch the Amazon goggle torture test. Hopefully will convince me to buy some dragons. Yeah, so for anyone in here that doesn't know, I ordered $200 worth of shit Amazon goggles. And they should all be arriving on Friday. And I basically, like, I think the cheapest pair was like $15, and the most expensive pair I think was like $36. And that $36 pair, it was from a company that claims they're a supplier to the U.S. ski and snowboard team. I've got friends on the U.S. snowboard team. I've never seen them fucking wear those hunks of garbage. But yeah, I'm going to cut everything in half so you can see how bad the frames are after I do a distortion test, because I bought a laser and we're going to shoot the laser through to show you what the distortion looks like. We're going to see how easy it actually is to remove the protective coating. I've also got some real goggles, like they're older stuff, so like, you know, stuff that I've damaged the lens or something, like it's scratched in one section, so I can show you what distortion doesn't look like, and I'm going to show you what the difference is between a shitty injected mold and a solid injection molded goggle as well. Ian Bauer, 5 foot 700 pounds. What size should I ride? 149 through 152. I would actually, at 100 pounds, probably put you on a 47. As the like. That's probably where I would, unless you're going to pack on some weight here. Because 5'7" and 100 pounds, you must be really young and really light. So, I mean, if you think you're going to gain like 10 to 20 pounds in the next year, maybe go with the 149. Okay. Henry, I don't know if you have the freedom to talk about this, but was Goodwood a pay to win? I swear I saw a podcast portion where Kevin said how much it costs to win good. Oh no, fucking Goodwood. Oh, it's a pay to play every time. I got a press. I got the media release kit to a company one time, and it was like, for X number of dollars, you get mentioned in a blurb, and you get a little 1/4 page ad, and like up there. But I think at one point, if you were trying to get a 1-page ad, I think they were charging like $50,000 at one point. Fucking obscene amounts of money. $50,000 and still couldn't survive as a fucking publication. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Camden Guzzi. Can Kevin carve it, but he has to wear Amazon goggles and use rotational buttons. Why do you guys always want to hurt Kevin? That's superfan Alan Russell's job. You know? So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Jacob Gravitt, what's worse, Amazon goggle or Costco goggle? So here's the thing about Costco, because you actually sometimes see like brand name products in there. They have all these liquidator suppliers that pick up stuff on closeout and whatever. I mean, that's why I've seen like Burton boards and stuff in Costco. There's spy goggles in there right now. So what it is like, I'd take my chances with Costco over Amazon, because you're probably actually going to get something brand name that they bought for pennies on a dollar, and then they marked up 200%, and it's still like $30, and it's going to be a real fucking product, versus some shit ass Amazon company that just didn't open. Like, I literally almost went on Alibaba the other day and was just going to order like some samples of angry goggles and be like, look, we have goggles, and just watch everyone be like, oh my God, I need them. And I'll be like, these things are shit. Literally set them on fire and then like show me throwing them in a dumpster. Although then I'd probably start a dumpster fire, and that would just be bad. Camden Guzzi, has a company ever asked you to take down a video or complained about it, or something like that. Would love to hear a story. Don't have to mention the company name. Wasn't videos, but I've had companies tell me to take down the written reviews back in the day, and I just said no. And then they told me they wouldn't work with me, and then they got really pissed because I worked at a shop and I could still get the product and ride it. And they were like, "Oh, the fuck, this is bullshit." But whatever. I've had companies tell me they'll never work with me, and now they only want to work with me. It's funny like that. Like everything just goes full circle if you wait around long enough. But my integrity is better than that. So yeah. Okay. What else? Let's see what else we're going on. Caleb Bodie, already feeling the effects of climate change here in the Midwest. It's only going to get worse, bud. I mean, when you guys do get snow, it's going to be more like aggressive and hard, and you're going to get a lot of it, but then it's going to go like warmed up. I mean, while I was in New York, the home resort last week, flight landed Wednesday night, got out in the city of Buffalo, and it was kind of snowing. Started driving into the south towns, and it was puking snow. They got 14 inches. I rode the next day. It didn't get above 25 degrees. Rode POW. It was heavier POW. Rode that. Rode again on Saturday. So that was Thursday I rode. Then Saturday I rode. It was about like 30 degrees. The snow was actually really good. You could set an edge. It wasn't too icy. It was really, really good. Then I rode again on Monday night. And Monday night, like when I pulled into the parking lot, it was 41 degrees, and it got warmer as the night went on. And then Christmas Day, it hit 45 degrees. Day after Christmas, it was 61 degrees in one of the suburbs of the city of Buffalo, and it was starting to sprinkle. And then when I left on Friday, it was pissing buckets of rain, and they were talking about it was potentially going to turn to freezing rain. Like this is what we got to really look at. It's like is just this shit's gonna just gonna become the new fucking normal. So yeah, sucks. All right. Water bottle, is the ice coast going to become the slush coast? Already is. Oof, it's the worst. Richard Hurleman, do you think your review of the ride Machete GT was integral to ride pulling it from the line? I laughed my ass off on that one. Well, they kept trying to argue with me and tell me that they weren't going to get rid of it, and then it was just gone. That board was a carryover from like 2 board designers ago, and it had this weird cult following, but I think it was just dumb people that didn't know what a real snowboard should ride like, because consistently I've never liked the Machete GT, and then they put out the algorithm to replace it. Oh my god, that board is so fucking amazing in comparison. So yeah, fucking nuts. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Okay, Great American Buffalo. My local ice hill has had to close twice this year since opening 2 weeks ago. Yep, that's just how it's gonna be. Like, I mean, it was crazy the last day that I was in New York. We were ollieing dirt patches in the middle of just like groomed runs. Like you could see groomed mud because it had like pushed through. Like they were claiming that they had like a 14-inch base, and I was like, where? It was just gone. That 14 inches just yeah. So crazy, like how much that stuff just went through. What's the plow doing out there? Man, still snowing out there. Anyways, what do we got here? Personal thoughts on volume shift boards from Brian Shea. I love volume shift boards. I actually own a K2 Cool Bean. I own a Telos Backslash. I kind of had to talk myself out of buying like more of them. I was like, no, I don't need these. But I love volume shifted boards. I think it's just changed snowboarding, the dynamic. It's been amazing for like these guys with really big feet that are lightweight. They're like, what? I can just like ride a 44 and be fine? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, it's amazing. All right. S2000 guy, I'm tired as hell. Great late night stream as always. See you next week. Yeah, man. Safe travels. Hit me up when you get out here. I'll go make some laps with you at Copper and go teach you how not to die in the Peace Park. Let's see. What else? Oh, I think we're catching up, kind of running out of questions. We're an hour and 40 minutes into this live stream, and to be honest, I'm fucking tired, so I'm going to give it 5 more questions, and then I'm going to dip out of here. Steve Doobie, where are Solomon snowboards made? Bulgaria. My hook knife top sheet chips like crazy. I thought they were made in like Slovenia, actually. So I can't. What factory? I'm trying to remember. Or maybe they're made in China. I can't remember. I'd have to really be like looking at one to know for sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. Frank 0020, are those good for people that ride surfy? Yes, volume shifted boards are 100% great for surfy started style riders for sure. Let's see. All right, everybody. Kevin Hub has left the building. Nato the Potato, are you planning another merch drop? I've run out of shirts. There's nothing in the works right now for new logos and limited run stuff. I actually have some stuff I need to watch on how to program with my one print shop to line it up to the web store so that you guys can just order and they'll drop ship it right there. So I don't have to like ship you guys anything physically. So I got to figure out all that. And if I do, we're going to bring in like multiple colorways of like some of the classic logos and stuff, but I really want to do some new stuff and I got some ideas for some things. So yeah, hopefully that. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else are going on. Okay. Let's see. Benchy, what's your thoughts on waist width? I've got size 13 boots and always wondered about how big I should be going as a minimum. Well, waist width isn't the best way because it's the dead center of the board, and that's not where you mount. You're actually mounting further out where the board is actually wider, just the way it is. I really wish more companies would give the width of the inserts, and we actually talked about this earlier in there. But with a size 13, I mean, just 26 is where you really want to start, and then you can go up from there. Like 25.5 will probably be too narrow. You'll actually boot out at some point. So yeah, I'd stay with the 26. All right. Anyone else got any questions? Oh, Caleb, buddy, have you been to Winter Park at all this season? No, I fucking hate that place. It's the worst. Why would I drive there when I could just go to Copper and be happy? All right. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing a question here, but maybe I'm not. Yeah, no, I think we're all kind of caught up. All right. All right. Let's see. The activity. I've got size 12 boots. Just got the Dinosaurs Will Die Geeves 58, 26.1, I think. Perfection, though. Yes. Super chat from Camden Guzzi. Good streams tonight, my man. Well, I'm glad I could definitely entertain all you guys, but I am tired. I've been sick for the last week. I'd really like to get some sleep because I'm still on fucking East Coast time, which is stupid right now for out here. Well, I don't even know if I'm on East Coast time. I just fucking fall asleep at weird hours and wake up super early. But we're supposed to get like a foot of snow through tomorrow, so I really want to go out and ride that. So there's that. But yeah, thanks again to everyone that tuned in for these live streams. Thanks again for all the support. We're in 2020. Going to have a video coming out. I'm hopefully going to have it done by next week, kind of explaining like the phase 2, which I talked about in the last live stream, and I think I even talked about it a little bit in this one, but like what we're trying to do for the next future progression of where we're going with everything. And I think we're going to be able to actually do like some really big things. So once again, guys, thanks for all the support. Happy New Year. And I'll have an announcement. We're going to try to start doing weekly live streams here in the future, hopefully.